Welcome to Tonia's Kitchen, where taste and nutrition go hand in hand. Here is Tonia King.
My guest today is Carolyn Haeler, owner of Mightylicious. Carolyn, thanks for joining me. Tell me what Mightylicious is all about.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, Mightylicious is about delicious, gluten-free, better-for-you treats. So we make 7 varieties of gluten-free cookies, and then we have 3 different baking mixes. We have 2 flour blends and a vegan gluten-free brownie mix.
How do you encourage people to try gluten-free cookies when a lot of people immediately have this perception of most gluten-free products taste like cardboard?
Yeah, that is our biggest hurdle with our consumer base, is getting past the negative experiences they have and the stigma that gluten-free and better for you has. And really the only way to get past is to hand them a cookie. I found I found the best way to do it. Of course, I do a lot of sampling events because I mean, I have celiac disease, and the company was birthed out of my experience or my negative experiences with gluten-free products and foods and wanting something better. I wanted something that not only nourished and healed my body, but that I would actually enjoy, because food is so much more than just nourishment. It's also part of our everyday ceremony, our rituals, our celebrations, our memories, our culture. And when that becomes limited, and not only limited, but then what you do have access to becomes disappointing, it really does have a psychological and emotional impact on your life in a way that I never anticipated. I was diagnosed with celiac disease when I was 31. So I do a lot of sampling events, and I just let people taste my cookies. And I do get a lot of pushback. I get rolled eyes. I get hesitation. I get resistance. I get skepticism. And you know what they say, one taste is worth 1,000 words. So once people try it, they're like, oh, wow. And then they eat it. And that's what I know, because when something doesn't taste good, people like take a bite.
Right, exactly.
Their hand drops. And they start talking and not eating. And that really doesn't happen when I'm handing out samples. People not only eat the whole thing, but then they go and grab another one. And that's when I know I have them.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. A lot of times people say gluten-free products are loaded with sugar and excess fat and not the good fat. Tell me about your cookies. Are they?
Yes and no. I mean, it's a cookie, and I have a very strong point of view on this. Cookies are meant to be a dessert and a treat. So we do not recommend that you eat a whole bag of my cookies. They're not a health food. In one sitting, you certainly eat the whole bag, but not in one sitting, right?
Sure.
This is not meant to, like, I am a firm believer that you should be getting your vitamins and your minerals and your protein and all of those things from your meals. So you should be eating, high protein, high fiber diet. You should be getting your veggies and your fruits in your meals. And then but you also deserve to indulge sometimes.
Absolutely.
It's important.
I mean, we need to have treats.
Yeah. So my cookies are a treat. They are not, I work with cookie manufacturers, and this is their job. And I'm always told that my cookies are not high in fat or sugar, that most of their normal cookies have way more sugar in them. Than mine do, but they are definitely not a diet food. This is this is something that you should indulge in. It's something that you should enjoy. It should be something that makes you smile. It should be something that makes you feel satiated and satisfied. But if you are diabetic, this isn't the product for you. But they aren't any higher. So like, what's the standard of like an Oreo or a Tate's? My cookies are either comparable or less sugar, but it certainly is not a health food.
Well, let me say something here, because you must have a really good product, because you got Food and Beverage Magazine's best product of the year for the second year in a row for their best product. That's pretty impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really proud of that. I mean, my goal and my mission is not just to make a gluten-free or better for you, because we also have vegan products as well. So we're in that better for you spectrum. But to make something that's just delicious. It just happens to be gluten-free, and it just happens to be better for you. So the only requirement for my products is that you like cookies. You don't have
I have to try some. I haven't even tried any of your products.
Yeah, That's the only requirement. You just have to like cookies, or brownies because we have a brownie mix, or you just have to like baking. And then you should like the product. The bonus is it's also gluten-free and, allergen friendly, so you can feel good about eating it. Of course, it's my brown butter chocolate chip and my brown butter shortbread cookies have brown butter in them. That is the dominant,
Mm.
all natural grade A butter in there. So butter, if you can't eat butter, you can't have one of those cookies. So then you can have one of my vegan chocolate chip cookies, which we use RSPO certified, so sustainably sourced palm oil. And we replace the eggs with a vegan coconut yogurt, and the rest is just sugar and flour and vanilla. And those are all equally as delicious. In fact, my wife, who is not vegan, prefers those. That's her favorite.
Well, it sounds like good, simple ingredients.
Very simple. My peanut butter cookie has 5 ingredients. My shortbread has 6. Obviously, when you start adding chocolate chips and things like that, the ingredient gets a little bit longer. But I created all of these recipes in my studio. I live in Manhattan. When I was creating this, I lived in a studio apartment. So I had a 24-inch oven, and a kitchen that fit into a closet, basically. That's not what we deal with here in New York. Which is lucky because a lot of kitchens are just like a stove and a cabinet, but I had a little closet kitchen, and I sourced all of my ingredients from the Whole Foods down the street. So all of my cookies you could make in your home. There's no special ingredients, there's nothing strange, there's no additives. It's all the ingredients you understand and can pronounce, and the ingredient list is relatively simple because cookies are not complex. Cookies are a straightforward recipe, and that's the way I like to eat, and that's how I feel safe eating, and that's what everyone deserves.
And Good Housekeeping seem to acknowledge your coconut oatmeal cookies. They must be special.
They are special, and that's my bestseller, which shocks people in the industry because the United States of America is a chocolate chip cookie country. Doesn't matter what brand you are, your chocolate chip cookie is going to be the top selling. And I have 2 chocolate chip cookies, and they're number 2 and number 3, which makes sense. But my best-selling cookie is my oatmeal coconut cookie, and this is a 100-year-old recipe from my wife's side of the family. I was actually had my launched my line as gluten-free in Whole Foods. I was talking to Whole Foods and I said, your cookies are great, Carolyn, but we really need something that's vegan and gluten-free. That doesn't really exist, and it's a niche in the market we want to fill. And I was like, fantastic. You want me to bake a cookie without butter, flour, or eggs. That is the holy trick. That is baking. That is what baking is butter, flour, and eggs. That's
Right,
what
right,
baking is based on. It's called the Holy Trinity.
right.
And I was like, okay, well, if Whole Foods asks you, you do it. I just sort of nodded my head. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm not vegan. But I was like, I like a challenge. And this is around Christmas time, and we were at my mother-in-law's, and she served me these cookies that are a 100-year-old recipe from her family, and their oatmeal coconut. And I would never think to myself, I need to combine oatmeal and coconut. I love coconut and I love oatmeal, but I never would be like, oh, that would be a great combination. And these cookies were so good. And I was like, coconut has the structure in the body you need to sort of replace removing the eggs, which provide the protein when you remove gluten. And so I was like, I'm going to try it. And I created this recipe it's a normal recipe. Her recipe is normal. We use butter, uses eggs. It's delicious. I created this recipe that's vegan, and I frankly think it's better. And it launched at Whole Foods, and it's my number 1 best-selling product to date. I've won multiple awards for this recipe. And I'm super proud of it because frankly, not only is it delicious, but there's no natural flavors or anything. The only flavoring in this cookie is organic vanilla extract, and they taste buttery. They are crispy, they are chewy, they have that exotic flavor from the coconut, they have that comforting flavor from the oatmeal, they are salty, they are sweet, they are just wonderful. And people respond to it. I have a VP of sales who joined my team about a year and a half ago, and he was like, really, oatmeal coconut? And it's his and his wife's, and they're not vegan and they're not gluten-free. And they're like, we love these cookies. We put them on ice cream. We eat them with everything. It's just wonderful.
We are talking with Carolyn Haeler, owner of Mightylicious. How'd you come up with that name?
That's a great question. A lot of brands have branding that's like Lucy's gluten-free and Abe's gluten-free, and, someone's Pamela's gluten-free. And I really wanted my brand to be different in the branding, as well as not only making something that was really delicious and different from what you can currently purchase. I wanted the branding to be fun and engaging and exciting. And I wanted it to not only resonate with adults, but I wanted it especially to resonate with kids because I wasn't diagnosed with celiac disease until I was in my 30s. And I lived a gluten-full life up until that. And I had all the pasta and ate all the croissants and drank all the beer and really got to enjoy food as one does. And then it was taken away from me. But whenever I have a product that's really disappointing, my heart breaks not only for me, but for all the children that are diagnosed with celiac disease very young, and they never get to experience a cupcake or a brownie or, the joy
Right.
of having like
Right.
an ice cream coated in cookie crumble, all those things that I remember from childhood. And so I wanted my branding to really resonate with them because the branding in the category overall is pretty trite. It's a lot of the brands are from decades ago. Some of them were even founded before I was even born. A lot of the branding hasn't been updated since then. And, you eat with your eyes.
Yes.
And so I wanted my branding, the imagery to be beautiful. So we took a lot of care taking photos of the product itself. And I actually took those photos myself. And then I wanted the branding, the name of the company to be fun and to evoke like Mightylicious sort of like evokes like Mighty Mouse. And that really resonated with people. And I like that it sort of reminds you of like childhood and a character. And then obviously it's delicious. And so Mightylicious is just fun to say. And also, and most importantly, it wasn't taken when I had it trademarked.
That's
That
great.
is another thing you have to factor in. You might have a wonderful idea and a wonderful brand name, but it's already probably trademarked decades ago. So Mightylicious wasn't trademarked. People really enjoyed it and responded to it. I love it. It's fun to say. And then we also have a logo or a mascot. We have a really cute punk unicorn. Their name is Charlie. And they are non-binary, which is very intentional because with branding, you have to be very careful to include everyone. And if something is too feminine, then you alienate the men.
Right.
And certainly men have celiac disease and eat cookies. So we wanted something that resonated with all genders. We wanted a animal that was cute and cuddly, but that wasn't the face of global warming, which a lot of animals, unfortunately, these days are. So unicorns, don't ever go extinct. So they trend in every decade. So we have Charlie the unicorn. He's giving a peace sign and sticking out his tongue. And he's a little bit more like we designed him. So as far as a cartoon's concerned, he's a little bit more mature. He's more of like a Calvin and Hobbes type style, but he's still young enough that little girls love him, big, strong, tough men really love Charlie. And, Charlie's fun.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
Carolyn Haeler from Mightylicious, tell me where we can buy your cookies.
Oh, so many places. So we are sold in grocery stores nationwide. We are in giant supermarkets over here on the East Coast and Mid-Atlantic. We're in H-E-B in Texas. We're in Hy-Vee. We're in thousands of independent and specialty grocery stores like Bristol Farms out in California. So you could probably find us at a local grocery store. If you can't find us at your grocery store, and I tell this to everyone, ask about us. Because if enough people come in and ask for a brand, the store will stock it. They don't want to have to guess what you want. And they also don't want to lose their revenue to Amazon, which these days many of them are. So if you go in, and this could be for any product, just not mine. If you buy something religiously and ask your grocery store about it, ask for the manager and just say, hey, I buy this all the time. Why don't you carry it? Everyone should be doing this. Number two, if you can't find it at your grocery store and you've asked your manager and they won't stock it for you, you can find us either at Mightylicious.com, www.mightylicious.com. We ship nationwide, including Alaska and Hawaii. If you order 3 bags or more, which is $24.99, shipping is free. And you can also find us on Amazon.
Boy, it sounds easy.
Yeah.
Easy to get a very simple and delicious product.
Yep.
Carolyn, I really appreciate you taking some time to chat with me today. How do we find you on social media?
Oh, we're on Instagram, Mightylicious Foods. We're on Facebook, Mightylicious Foods. Follow us, tag us, let us know what you think of our products.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll subscribe to this podcast as we continue to take you around the world of food and wine on Tonia's Kitchen.